The Department of Health have just agreed an implementation plan for the rare disease strategy, which is very exciting, and it's the culmination of more than a decade of work. Rare diseases are something that are of great interest to people like me. I'm a geneticist, and here at the Institute of Genetic Medicine, back 10 years ago, we had 36 research teams focused on that, on different types of rare disease. But generally speaking, people in the healthcare systems weren't too worried about rare diseases. They saw them as less important than things like diabetes and dementia. Then it was recognised that there are something like 8,000 different genetic diseases, most of them very rare, but collectively they affect about 1 in 17 of the population. That's a lot of people. And these are very expensive chronic diseases that involve an awful lot of care in the hospital. For example, about 1/3 of our children's beds are taken up by children with rare diseases. So there's an increasing interest in trying to get ahead of this problem. And that coincided with the emergence of the new technologies, the so-called next generation sequencing technologies. We actually got the first of those machines here at the Institute, which are now being rolled out into clinical practice. These allow you to actually look at all of the genes in a person and understand which ones have gone wrong. So it became possible to think about developing ways of diagnosing even the most obscure rare diseases more rapidly. So there are two strands to what happened over the last decade. One of those strands was that the government put together a committee, which I helped to chair, called the Human Genomic Strategy Group. And it was asked to look forward to see how we might embrace this technology, which of course was significantly invented here in Britain. We were the place where the structure of DNA was identified, and the first technologies for sequencing were invented by British scientists. So it was obvious that we should get into this, and we produced a report in 2011 which underpinned the recommendation by David Cameron's government in 2012 to create the 100,000 Genomes project. And that project is now coming to the end of its research phase, and in a few months' time, 100,000 individuals will have had their whole genome sequenced. Now, I'm currently sitting on the board of NHS England, and we are currently working to incorporate that technology into routine care.